What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Jared, and so today's been a little eventful, and well, I should say this week's been a little eventful, and things are not looking too good with everything that's been going on for the past few weeks. And yesterday, finding out about Jeezy getting divorced from his wife Jimmy Mai. Yesterday, through all the controversy with Jeezy, it slipped through my fingers, and I just found about this last night after I did the broadcast about Tyler Perry. So Tyler Perry's been getting heat from Black Twitter and Black in the Black community because he told Black women that they should accept a man that only pays the light bill. Now, I'm gonna go in depth with this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna play the actual video because this video has a lot more to it than just yeah. This video has a lot more to it than just a simple talking to black women. Now, let me see if I can go. Let me go to my community tab because I actually did a short. Because this is this is getting fucking stupid, and I'm honestly getting a little aggravated with a lot of people, especially because people
in our society,
keep doing this shit.
black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who accept.
Hold on, let me replay this. So, share my screen. Shout out to Shisha Zed. Is this showing? This is showing. Okay, so here's a clip.
In our society right now, in our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
All right. I'm back. So You saw that I played that twice. And the reason I played that twice is because that specific video got a lot of hatred from black women on YouTube. Now we already know the key players that were talking the most shit. Cynthia G, Taya TKO. Now, I'm not going to play Cynthia G's video because I really don't care about what she says because we already know what she's going to say. He's telling we already know what they're going to say. He's telling black women to settle for from a broke, dusty ninja that ain't out there doing nothing for himself. Now, if you would have listened to him, what he told them, in the premise of what he told them to do, is to find a man that wants to work, is willing to go to work, bust his ass, is a good man, and is willing to work with you and honors you, and is willing to pay the bills, even if it's a light bill. Now, we're going to just skip over the fact that he said the light bill. He's implying that as long as he's willing to pay bills, willing to go to work, and do what he can at the specific moment, due to the fact that a lot of black women are making a lot more than black men, he's saying as long as he's actually going out there and working, has a goal, has ambition about himself, work with him and help that man build himself up so that he can in turn build you up so that y'all can get to the bag, the quote unquote proverbial bag, together. What a lot of black women did was they took it with a grain of salt, not actually looked into the context of what Tyler Perry was actually speaking about. What he was saying is, find you a man that is worthy of you. Not a bum, not a hood ninja, not a bum that's just willing to stay at home and not work for nothing. That's what he's telling them to do. To find a man that is valuable and that values himself and is not willing to allow you to work.
This guy can't be
your ass off. That is what he's telling them. But they took it at face value and didn't actually go into deeper context with actually what he was saying. Me as a 24-year-old black man, I understood what he was saying. Now you have 30, late 30 to 40-year-old women that came on Twitter talking about, oh, he's telling black women to settle. No, he's not telling black women to settle. He's telling you to find a man that is valuable. Not every black man is going to make $100,000 a year. Not every black man has the ambition to own a business. Not every black man has the ambition to work a office job making $100,000 or more. Most black men are blue-collar workers. Now, my thing is this. When it came down to it, a lot of black women are just itching at the opportunity to throw a black man under the bus. If you want me to be honest here, they're itching for every little imperfection, every little thing to throw a black man under the bus. With the Brickgate situation, it was proven that the woman was lying and that she pulled this same exact stunt back in 2020. it was proven. This woman lied about being hit upside the head with a brick, and she was actually lying about that back in 2020. So much so that she raised $42,000 to $43,000 within the post of her getting a quote unquote hit with a brick. She got 42 grand after lying and scamming black women and simps into her narrative of black men being the evil ones. Now, you have this. When a black man is trying to tell you the truth and you don't want to hear it. We know there's a lot of good black men out there. Funny thing is, a lot of black women are drawn to the hood Negro. They're drawn to them. They look for the thug they're looking for a thug in the streets and a genius in a genius out. That's the wrong word. They're looking for a intellectual thug, in a sense. They're looking for a thug that's educated, an educated thug. That's the word. Educated thug. But what I'm starting to notice is, with a lot of black women, they don't care about the facts. They don't care about actually what's going on. They will take a narrative and go off half-cocked, not even understanding, not even actually going into it, not even thinking about it. They will go into a situation half-cocked, not actually listening, not anything. And they'll expose themselves for not even actually listening to the actual narrative and actual situation itself. They've proven themselves to do that multiple times within the last few months, in fact. Carly Russell, Brickgate, a whole host of other things. And it's been proven that they cannot make any rational thoughts without their emotions getting involved. Let's be honest here. When it comes down to it, if you take the time to actually understand what he's saying, and I'm not even calling Tyler Perry a saint, because he's done a lot to damn destroy the image of black men too. If you really think about it, what he's saying is to find a good man. So what if he doesn't have millions of dollars in the bank? So what if he's not a lawyer? So what if he's not a CEO of a Fortune 500 company? That's what he's saying. You're not going to find a man that's making $1 million a year. You're not going to find a man that's out there just doing whatever he wants to do. You're not going to find a man that's making millions of dollars with his own private jet to be able to fly you to Belize or to be able to fly you to Venice whenever he wants to. You're not going to find that. And if you do find it, it's extremely rare. That is what he's saying. But if you want to keep it a buck here, they took it all at face value and went off half-cocked with the situation, and now they're exposing themselves again to be irrational. Do you not realize Tyler Perry's done some of the most destructive things to the black male image within his career as Madea and all of his movies? Yes, they're funny, but the thing is, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. A lot of people hate the guy that played Charles in that. The guy that played the fiance to Lisa in, what is it? Medea's Family Reunion. That guy. And a whole host of other movies. showing black men as violent men. And you want to know something? You want to know the bad thing is? When we come into contact with other races of people, they don't see that. They see a man that's brilliant. They don't see a man that's destructive. See, what happens is when black men go overseas or to other countries, we go with our best. We ain't sagging. We ain't got pants down to our goddamn ankles. We ain't showing our asses. We ain't throwing money like that. If you do have them, they're the hood Negroes. They came into a little bit of money, or, excuse me, or is the hood niggas that are trying to flee or got a break on their rent and use their rent check to fly overseas. We all know that. It's not the best of us that's throwing money around these different clubs, especially in the DR. Excuse me. DR Columbia. We know that the niggas that's going over there that's just throwing money in the club every which way, we know they ain't the best of us. But the problem is, when a lot of black women go overseas, they go over there with the worst of them. The destructive, loudmouth, ratchet ones. Look at the woman that danced on top of the slave castle in Nigeria? Look at those women. The worst of them. And those were the educated ones. You ain't going nowhere to Africa with just $100 in your bank account. No, that was a $2,000 to $4,000 trip. And those women went over there to dance on top of a slave castle, talking about for the ancestors, twerking on the slave castle. Do you know how destructive that is to the image of black women? You have Sukiana, Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, all these different hoe ass bras out here building the image of the ratchet black woman. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get if you get a black woman, you're gonna get a highly sexual, promiscuous woman. That's just a beast waiting to be tamed. If you want to be honest here, why do you think white men will go after the ratchet white women or go after the ratchet black women, but they won't marry them? Ask a white man, would he ever marry a black woman? 9 times out of 10, he's going to say no, but I would like to sleep with one. Why? Because the image of black women is they're women that need to be conquered. Let's be honest here. You have black men that's got a questionable past telling black women that they need to find a good man. Then when they find a good man, they run that good man off. Tell me I'm lying. Is Tyler Perry's message to black women wrong for the modern times that we are living in? With the sexualization of black women online, with black women promoting promiscuity in their whole life, with black men trying to correct a lot of black women's irrational actions. Is it too much? Is it too wrong of a message for black women? And I'm going to be honest here. And God knows I love my sisters. But I think the message needs to be far harsher than that. See, I think Kevin Samuels was on the right track when it came to a lot of black women. He came at them with love and discipline. But the problem is, you have to take a bull by the horns, or you have to make a horse drink the water. And I don't have the patience for that. I'm just going to say that out here right now. I don't have patience for that shit. I'm not trying to save you. There's going to have to be somebody that's going to have to come out here and tell these women the actual truth and not worry about getting canceled. Or they're going to have to find out the hard way and extremely hard. 2027, y'all, is coming. 2030 is coming. That little article that was put out, the numbers are already starting to scare them. That's the reason why they acted even more irrational. Half of the population of women in the U.S. is going to be childless and single. But I want to say something else. With the economy the way it is, with the way women have destroyed their image as a whole, not just black women, with the way women have destroyed their image, I'm going to say about 80% are going to be single and childless. And then that 20% that's left over are the women that are married and are in happy relationships. This isn't going too well. Black women, you need to understand this. If a black man is telling you the truth about your actions, the way you portray yourselves online, if you have a black man trying to correct you, take it as such. It's out of love. When you have Dr. Umar, Boyce Watkins, Derek Jackson, who cheated on his own wife, Pastor Poppy Don, you have guys that are telling you that you have nothing to be upset about. You have nothing that you have to correct about yourself. That you should be able to do whatever you want. Be able to go out here and act like a hoe. Be able to be whatever you want. When you have a man telling you that, believe me, that man is not telling you anything out of love. That man is telling you something to keep you in a place to where you're easily accessible and defenseless. We always talk about protect black women, protect the black community, rebuild the black community. But I'm going to be honest here. How can you build a community if you have men that don't want to listen, that don't want to build, and you have women that refuse to listen to correction? You can't. Kevin Samuels got a lot of pushback from Cynthia G, Tiny TKO, The Shade Room. And millions of other women. If you have women like that refusing to listen, how can you build a community? And furthermore, when it comes to this whole idea of protecting black women, if you have no husband, you remain uncovered. which in turn means you have no covering because you have no man there to cover you, which will in turn cause other men to protect that man's asset, which is you. See, what a lot of women have to realize is they have to start looking at themselves as assets. Assets to their husband, I should say. If you are not an asset to a man, you are uncovered. If you have no marriage, no legal bound to a man, you are uncovered. You have black men out here telling you, if you are uncovered, if you have no husband, you have nothing, nobody to protect you, you are going to remain uncovered. You have black men that are saying, I have a family. I'm not going to just go off of the fact of some woman crying and begging for help. I'm not going to just go out there and help them because I have a whole entire family at my own house that needs my protection, my guidance. You have black men stating this, and you have black women telling black men that if I was there as a woman, I would try to delete that man because they in their mind think that they can take on a man despite being a weaker vessel. You, in some twisted part of your mind, believe that you can take on a man without covering from another man. And then you wonder why black men are saying we will not protect a woman that is uncovered, nor will we believe a woman just for her own allegations. Let me put a little fact out there too. If you're under the tutelage and the guidance of a man, and you respect your husband, you have protection. You have protection. Your husband is there to make sure you as a woman are safe. If that man is sitting there providing for his household, whether he's paying majority or half of the bills, you are under protection from that man. Whether he's making 50, 60, 70, a million, it doesn't fucking matter. If you have a man in the household, you are under the protection of that man. Meaning, somebody treasures you enough to provide, that is willing to give up their life to protect you and to build for you as a woman. That is what Tyler Perry's message is saying. You need to be under the guidance and the protection of a man. You sitting out here talking about, oh, you don't need a man, but you want a man. You need men more than you think. If a man is putting his hands on you, who are you going to want to jump in? Another man. If you want children, you need a man to provide you the sperm so that you can get your eggs fertilized, so that you can have said child. Men built the house that you live in. Men maintain the car that you drive. Men maintain the roads that you drive on. Men maintain the building that you work in. Men maintain the electrical grid that you use. Men maintain the very network that you are listening to this podcast on. The internet. You sit here online talking about delete all men, men are trash, men are this. Yet the very same device that you use, whether it's an Apple product or Android product, you use, and it was designed and developed and built by men. You cannot live in a world and say that you don't need men because you use our daily labor. Your the daily labor that we as men produce provides you the ability to be able to connect and get on TikTok to say the same bullshit rhetoric that you love to say. Yet men are destructive. And despite a lot of women feeling this way about war, how do you think conflicts are solved? Why do you think war is a part of society? Why do you argue with yourself? Why do you argue with your friends about certain issues? That is conflict. Wars are fought over women. Wars are fought over resources. Wars are fought over ideals. Despite you feeling like, oh, if there was a woman president in the war of the United States, she wouldn't be able to handle conflict, nor be a competent battle strategist. Whether you like it or not, men maintain the world that you live in. And we all know that there's trash men out here. We all know it. We all know there's men out there that are highly destructive, highly chaotic, and deadly. We all know that. We've never said that, oh, men don't do that. We all know that. Just like there's destructive and criminal women. We all know that. But the problem is when you sit here and say, oh, you don't need a man, and then when you're in a situation to where you're vulnerable, then you want to sit there and say, put the damsel in distress jacket on. It doesn't work like that. You need men. And this message that Tyler Perry is sitting out here, it's not, despite what a lot of women want to sit here and say, that message wasn't meant to be condescending. It wasn't. It was meant to say, find a man that's worthy of you. Find a man that is willing to do what he has to do to maintain your relationship with him. Now, Tyler Perry ain't the saint of the situation too, because like I said before, his very movies have created a image of black men that is highly destructive to us. Highly destructive. And now he's starting to change script. As a man, we do not say that we don't need women. As a black man, I understand that a lot of destructive behaviors have been brought by my fellow brothers that are incarcerated. But the thing about it is too, although these men have tarnished the image of black men, there are still black men willing to be out there to provide and build. But with this constant berating, with this constant destruction of the black male image, with this constant berating, with this constant antagonization of black men, you can't expect us to just be willing to die at anybody's sword just for a random black woman on the side of the street. You can't. You just can't. But who knows, guys? What am I missing here? But I'm gonna hop off here. I gotta go home. I gotta go not home. I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm gonna relax for a little minute, clean the kitchen, do a little bit of tidying up down here. Oh, your boy made pork pot roast. One of these days, I might do a little video on what I'd be doing in the kitchen, because your boy be over here cooking and shit. So yeah, what we gonna do is we're gonna do a little something on here one of these days. But anyways, like, share, subscribe to the channel, support the podcast on Spotify.com. Thank you guys for listening. Hector, let me know if I'm on the right track with this one. I will see you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys later.